Well, good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome in. Happy Friday. Happy Friday indeed. Gosh, it is a lovely Friday morning out there. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi, and I lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I am Matt Watson, and, you know our show, Eye on the Valley. It's brought to you by SCVi and iLead Schools. We are a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've got a fully accredited online school. In fact, you're going to hear a lot more about that school here in just a minute. We've got a burgeoning home study program that, is just got a wait list longer than your arm. They're called iLead Exploration. You know what? Why don't you visit us at iLeadSchools.org. There you're going to be able to find information on all of our schools, whether they are independent study, virtual, classroom-based, hybrid. We've got something for every learning style. So check us out again at iLeadSchools.org. So we keep our eye on education here in Santa Clarita and across the nation. But like our show says, we keep our eye on the Valley as well, bringing you everything you need to know about what's what here in the Valley. And we try to do so while bringing a smile to your face, because I personally have a philosophy. I don't do anything if I can't laugh while I'm doing it, and it does get me in trouble from time to time, especially at board meetings and funerals. But if you're not laughing enough, then you're not doing it right. Like I said, it is another gorgeous day in SoCal. If you are not here, then you are not there. Wow, it is beautiful out there. It's supposed to get a little rain this weekend, though. I don't know. We will see. There's a lot going on town this weekend, and in the upcoming weekend, spring is in full bloom, and Santa Clarita is out, and we've got a whole lot of stuff going on. Maybe we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But not yet. Go ahead and take it easy. It is Friday morning. Let's ease into this weekend together. Gosh, I love the show because it just reminds me, well, because I love doing the show, but it reminds me that the weekend is on the way and we get to chat about what's coming up. And, before we get that weekend officially kicked off, let's spend a little time together. So pour yourself a cup of tea, cup of coffee, and we've got a great show for you today. As a matter of fact, in just a minute, like I mentioned, we're going to be talking about iLeadOnline. We've got Christy Monroe from iLeadOnline who's going to join me here in just a second. Trust me, the image that you get in your head when I say online learning, that is not what iLeadOnline is. I have so many people tell me, yeah, my kid did that during the pandemic, and no bueno. Well, no, this is not pandemic learning. This is a fully innovative, revolutionized, completely supported online learning school where your children, and trust me, because I've heard it over and over and over again, your children are going to get more support at iLeadOnline than they're getting in their brick and mortar school. I can guarantee it. And then in hour number 2, we are going to talk to Matt Nelson. Y'all know Matt. Matt is just the greatest guy in the world. He is the CEO at Boys and Girls Club of Santa Clarita. You know, the club has its signature annual event coming up, and they're renaming stuff. They're doing all kinds of stuff at the Boys and Girls Club. So Matt's going to be here to talk about it, as well as their summer programming. Matt wants to talk about their summer programming, what they've got for kids going on this summer to help encourage and take care of your kids while they're on summer vacation. And yes, Big T is here too. He'll have trivia. He'll have a lot of fun at the end of the show, so it is going to be great. Let's go ahead and do this. Like I said, my first guest is Christy Monroe. She is the office manager for iLeadOnline. This is her, I can't believe it, Christy, 11th year with the iLead family and her 8th as an iLead employee. Her heart is dedicated to her family and to iLead. She's a proud parent of 2 iLead graduates, as a matter of fact. Christy spends her days supporting the excellent staff, families, and learners at iLeadOnline, and her nights and weekends are dedicated to her family, her husband, her 4 adult children and their families, their 2 beautiful puppies, and she loves music and rom-coms, and our families at iLead just rave about how helpful she is. Christy, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Good morning, Matt. Thank you for having me.
Of course. It's so good to hear your voice, and we appreciate you joining us. So, Christy, I mentioned you've been part of the iLead family for a long time. It's been over a decade now. Can you share with us a little bit about how you came to the iLead family and the several different roles that you've played over the years?
I'd be happy to. Well, my family and I have been with iLead since 2012. we came across iLead Lancaster when we were looking for an alternative to traditional school and became one of the founding families. My son and daughter started in 3rd and 5th grade. They were just babies and continued their high school with Innovation Studios, now Empower Generations. And they did graduate in 2020 and 2021.
Wow.
I still have nieces and a nephew that currently attend Lancaster and iLeadOnline today.
Oh, wow.
So,
fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So
we've got...
Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, we've got family with family with family.
You've got grand family at iLead. That is fantastic.
Yes.
So tell us what role you play now. What is it that you do? I mentioned you're the office manager for iLeadOnline. That seems kind of funny for me because you don't really have an office, but you manage it. So talk to me about what that role is.
So as the office manager, yes, it's more of a virtual office.
Yep.
But, there's a lot of behind the scenes work that we do, of course, from enrollment. Actually, let me even back up. We do the applications. When a family is interested and wants to know all about us, they start with our website,
right.
iLeadOnline.org.
Good plug.
And once they submit an application, then that's when we take over. We also offer virtual tours. We do one-on-one sessions with them. And then we make sure that we get all the ducks in a row for enrollment and get them started. So it sounds simple, but there's a lot of moving pieces. So it takes a big team to make that happen. And ultimately, it's for support and success of all the learners.
Absolutely. And you're kind of like that early on concierge for families coming in. And I know it's a lot of work because you guys are growing like crazy. It seems like you're adding another half dozen families every week. Now, one of the things, it's so funny. There's so many misnomers because when I tell people we operate an online school, they certainly get an image in their mind of what it is. And you guys, as I mentioned in the intro, are totally not that. So let's start here, Christy. Talk to us about what grades you serve at iLeadOnline.
So we start in transitional kindergarten and offer all the way up through 12th grade graduation.
Wow. So it's easy to understand because, even, folks may remember years ago the correspondence learning and, it was during the pandemic. We'll call it distance learning because it was not online learning. Distance learning might have been a little bit easier in middle and high school, but for the littles, it really was difficult. Y'all do it really well, though. We'll talk more about that in just a second. But talk to us about what you think, because I've been telling the listeners that you guys are unique. You guys are not what they think of when I say online learning. So what makes iLeadOnline so unique?
I think there's several things that makes us unique. First of all, our course catalog. There is such a wide variety of classes available to all of our learners. To me, it reminds me of a college course catalog. When you're going to go and enroll in college and you're looking through this huge catalog, this magazine of courses that are available. I think that is completely unique. For TK through 12th grade, that's just amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I also think that it's unique because the learners are in charge of their education, such as the class selection and then the pacing. They get to work at their own pace.
Yeah, and that's one of the things that's very popular, I know. Y'all have a lot of students that are actors, singers, entertainers that have kind of those wonky schedules and can't necessarily shut down their careers from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then you've also got quite a few elite athletes that are training. I know you had a graduate recently who was kind of on the pro surfing tour, and you've got folks that ride equestrian or training for the Olympics. And then, folks who maybe spend their days traveling or spend their days in museums or what have you. But yeah, you mentioned, Christy, your catalog, and I'm looking at the different offerings that you have, and you're absolutely right. I just want to give a taste for our listeners real quick. You've got CTE, Career and Technical Education, which people will think that you can't do online. They're wrong. You and I are going to talk about that in just a few minutes. You've also got You've got something called Track C and adventure courses, which again we'll talk about in a little bit. But I want to hit really quickly some of the other things that folks don't realize that they can get at an online school. For example, you've got 15 different advanced placement courses. We're talking about those AP courses for kids who are looking to ramp up their GPA and as they head into college. You've got 25 different foreign language classes in multiple languages. And this is something I tell folks all the time, because we don't have to pay rent on a building, because we don't have to make sure that there's at least 20 to 30 kids in each classroom. We can be very nimble with our foreign language classes and offer languages that kids can't get even in a high school of 2, 3, 4,000. You've got close to 50 electives, and then of course all of your math, science, physical education, social studies, English courses. You've also got visual and performing arts, something that I think folks wouldn't realize is possible in an online school. But you've got drawing, animation, cartooning, digital illustration, filmmaking. How to draw for beginners. You got all kinds of. Gosh, I could just sit here and read your catalog, but that's boring radio. So let's talk about how these courses are presented, because you know this as well as anyone, Christy. Our network was formed over 16 years ago on the basis that kids need a hands-on learning approach, and we do so through project-based learning. So does that work in an online platform? Are your teachers, I know we call them facilitators, are they able to use project-based learning? And if so, what does that look like?
Absolutely. That's also another point that I think is unique to online learning.
Yeah.
It's a foundation with us. And though we are an online school, there are many opportunities for them to connect in person and virtually in regards to projects. They're just like on campus. I mean, they have the rubrics with the core standards that they work closely with. They receive adventure boxes with the materials and the guidance. They work on it at home instead of in groups in the classroom. But it's great quality work. And then they do their presentations of learning, both live online, they share during advisory, and they submit them digitally. And it is so exciting. I have to tell you, if I may.
Please.
We have a communication channel that we, as in the entire staff, and it's dedicated to the learners' projects. So from every single grade level, they showcase all of them. So they're sharing with the entire staff, and the work that comes from these projects is amazing. And, you know, you were talking about how many different types of electives and courses that we offer. The projects reflect all of those. And it's just so amazing to see and read and hear, you know, because they can send it in any format. Like if it was a project that they did and they took a picture of, perfect. If it was an essay they wrote, perfect. If it was a live song and dance or a skit or a live presentation they recorded and presented to everyone, perfect. It's like as if we are there just like we were in the classroom. It really is awesome to see the work that these kids put forward, and that's how it started, project-based learning. Yeah. So they really are having fun, and we get the pleasure of seeing all of them.
They're having fun. They're making connections. They're developing high-quality work, and you're right. And I love how you guys share. I actually got connected with that channel where you guys are presenting and sharing all of your stuff. And as someone who markets your school, Christy, I love it. Anytime somebody says, yeah, but what are the kids really doing? Well, here, let me pull it up on my phone and I can just scroll through and show for folks. And your kids are doing great stuff. As a matter of fact, I saw something recently. You have a young lady who's taking your Japanese class. She's learning to speak Japanese, and she has a passion for the kitchen. She loves cooking. And so what she decided to do for one of her projects is to do a cooking show. in Japanese, and I think
Hmm.
she cooked one of my favorite wintertime comfort foods. She did a grilled cheese tomato soup, but she did it all in Japanese, and it was absolutely fantastic.
Yes.
They're
Can you
doing great
believe
stuff.
the creativity that comes out of it?
Oh, it is really
It's
cool.
just really exciting.
And they pour themselves into it and learn so much more.
They do.
So, Christy, we
They
talk
really
about
do.
this personalized connection. We're going to talk in a few minutes about all the support that your learners are getting, all the different courses that we have. But we've got all these different things. But the one thing that people really are concerned about when they talk about taking their kid out of a traditional public school and putting them in an online class is that loss of connection, that there's no personal connection. But that you guys have also broken the walls down to as well. You guys are really connecting with your learners, making sure they're connecting with each other. Can you talk to us about some of the different ways that you make sure that your learners and their families stay connected?
Absolutely. Well, I think this is a two-part answer, really. You would think that learners would be disconnected, correct? It's
Yeah,
online. You just picture them behind the
absolutely.
computer at home by themselves, or maybe parents sitting in the room or in the next room, however it may be. Not true. So, if anything, as a parent and also as a staff member, just knowing how things work on the inside, I think that they get more connection. They have more opportunity for personal connection with their coaches, well, teachers, facilitators, with one another in their advisory classes, with the kids online, and also with tutors. We offer tutoring too. So more one-on-one connection, I believe, is offered and available to them, and many of our learners take advantage of that. And then the second part of that answer would be that our team has been putting together really exciting opportunities for both in-person and virtual events, because not everybody can make it in person. But
Right.
for the ones that do, let me give you some examples.
Please.
So we have group advisories where several classes join together for an advisory. So think of it, if you will, as like an assembly.
I will.
But but they're not just listening to a teacher up there or a presenter. They're interacting with each other. So, potentially you could have 75, 100, maybe even more, depending on the grade level spread of these group advisories. And they have had so much fun and really enjoyed them. They've asked for more. The learners themselves have asked for more group advisories together. Okay, so that was a virtual example. We've also had a beach bash, several of them actually. Once the weather warms up, everybody's hitting the local beaches out there.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. We've also had an upper school game party meetup where they actually met at a location and they all played board games.
So fun.
Very exciting stuff. They had a bowling night.
Oh, wow.
Go ahead.
No, you've got so much going on. What happened at the bowling night?
I do. I have so much more. So they all got together and did bowling. And then they had, for our TK through 8th grade learners, they all had a Gilchrist Farm meetup. Then we had a virtual winter festival. So, picture a festival on a campus traditionally. Well, this one was virtual, so that you could hop from room to room to room and do interactive activities. It was super fun.
I love
Our
this.
6th through 12th graders went to the Aquarium of the Pacific, and they did a squid dissection.
Nice.
So imagine that. You're in this class, the science class, and you do your advisory, and you have your group discussions and all that. And then guess what? Next Friday, we're going to go meet up at the Aquarium of the Pacific. We're going to do a field trip. We're also going to dissect the squid. How fun is that?
Nice. I love it.
Right?
I love it. Christy,
Yeah.
iLeadOnline is providing everything that your typical school would be providing in terms of support and connection, but there's so many different things that you're doing more and you're doing better. It really is amazing. Christy, I want to talk more about it when we get back. We do need to take a quick break, but we'll be back with Christy Monroe, Office Manager at iLeadOnline, free public charter school. I'm Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley, and you're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I'm talking this morning to Christy Monroe. She's the Office Manager for iLeadOnline. Now, Christy, I'm guessing that, we talked about how before the break, you all serve learners from TK, transitional kindergarten, through 12th grade. So you've got 4-year-olds through 18-year-olds on your online platform there at iLead Online. I want to remind folks what I mentioned on the way out. You are a tuition-free public charter school funded by the same public dollars that fund our school district. So there is no tuition, but it's got to be, well, let's just say different. Doing online learning with, 10th graders, kids that are 15, 16, than it is doing it with kids that are 10, 11, 12. And then it's got to be very different with the littles. So let's break that down just a little bit. Can you tell us what a typical day or week might look like for an iLead Online kindergartner?
Absolutely. So I'm an iLead Online kinder.
All right.
So I'm going to go to Campfire every day. That's what we call our advisories for the littles. Mm-hmm. They're campfires.
They go to the campfire.
So picture them all sitting around the campfire, so to speak. And that's where they get to connect. So they have campfire every day. They check in with their facilitator because, we have fun words for everything in iLead.
Lots of fun words, yeah.
So coach and facilitator, Miss Jeannie. And they always have their hands-on projects that they can work on daily. And Campfire is their time to share. They can work together. They can get support should they need it. Their timing and schedule are super flexible, and projects are always fun and engaging. There are no set required times in front of the computer. Let me say that again. There are no set required times in front of the computer.
Because that's one of the things that families worry about is I don't want my kid on the computer all day long, right?
Correct.
So they're not, yeah.
No, and when they are on the computer, it's for that connection.
Yeah.
And they're interacting with their classmates, with their teacher. Super fun. And they get to talk. It's not just listening. It's all interaction. So if I could, let me give you a specific example.
Please do.
So Thursdays, they jump into Campfire for story time and literacy skill building. Then they can share out within the Campfire. After that, they can work with a parent or a caregiver on a project. An example of a project might be the seed to table project that our littles do when they learn all about our food, farms, plant life, etc. And in their adventure box, project-based learning.
Right.
So in their adventure box, they get seeds to grow, and they get to just go through the entire cycle. And all of our kinder through 3rd grade learners do get to have those adventure boxes, and not just that one. There are many of them.
Uh-huh.
So they get to share in the excitement.
So you talked about how it's a very hands-on experience. I was wondering how y'all do that. Your learners get adventure boxes. I'm imagining like a box of all these materials, like you said, seeds to plant and all the different materials for their projects.
Absolutely. Well, and it all pertains to whatever core that they're studying.
Okay.
And they all get the same adventure box.
Okay.
It's sent to their homes.
Oh, gosh. That must be so exciting. I get excited when Amazon packages show up. I can't imagine what a kindergartner or a 2nd grader might feel like when their adventure box shows up at home. That's so exciting.
Absolutely.
So that obviously was probably the toughest nut to crack as we were opening up our online school. But talk to us about what it looks like for a high schooler. Okay.
So again, it's super flexible. They can work on one class at a time or on multiple classes. They can work according to a daily schedule that works best for them. We have advisory for them instead of Campfire. We do offer tutoring, study halls, and live instruction each week, and many learners jump in for support and for building SEL skills.
Social emotional
last
learning.
week, an example would be a high schooler went to our group advisory career day. Mm-hmm. We had over 80 kids attend, and it was a huge success. Yeah, so after that, they could actually work on their classes, or maybe they can jump into a tutoring session in the late afternoon. Mm-hmm. They can also work evenings in their courses if that fits better for them. We talked about our athletes and our entertainers.
Uh-huh.
So that's perfect for them. They have access to their course content in Brightspace at all times, 24/7. And the coaches work with them to build a daily schedule that best fits their personal needs.
So, Christy, you've mentioned a couple of roles. There's different people in the lives, especially of our high schoolers,
Mm-hmm.
that lead to what I talk about, that tremendous level of support that our learners get.
Mm-hmm.
When iLead Online first opened up, I was the principal of a high school here in Santa Clarita, and one of my students started attending one of your first classes and came back to me and said, "Mr. Watson, I'm actually getting more attention and help than I was in my regular classroom here on campus at iLead Online." And the way y'all do that is,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, each one of your classes has its fully credentialed expert teacher. We call them facilitator,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they've
Mm-hmm.
got their teacher, but then, as you mentioned, they've also got their academic coach. This is someone who is, and I've heard them referred to, which I love, an educational Sherpa. They're the person that kind of helps you carry your load. And if you're struggling in a class, they'll get you the support they need. They'll help you communicate with your teachers if you're struggling with that. They're gonna. Well, let's face it. They're gonna nag you a little bit if you're falling behind on your work. They're gonna help
Mm-hmm.
you structure things. And so you've got your personal coach. You've got your teacher for each class, and then you've also got access to free tutoring up to twice a week. That's a tremendous amount of support.
Yes, absolutely.
So we did talk about high school, and I mentioned when we were reading your catalog that you guys have a really impressive catalog of career pathway opportunities. We're talking about career connected education that's preparing your high schoolers for their next professional step. Can you tell us about how that works, and then maybe share with us some of the offerings that you have?
Sure. So the CTE courses are a great place to develop the interest, skills, and experience in a career-related industry for our kiddos.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they can they can be used to support college admissions and also look great on resumes,
Yeah.
right? So we offer them to both middle school learners and high school learners.
I didn't know you did middle school.
There's an introduction, a concentrator, and a capstone course in each field. They're all A through G approved.
Meaning,
Learners.
so A
I'm
through
sorry.
G approved means they're all approved for kind of not college credit, but the colleges will validate it. We're not talking about your underwater basket weaving. These are courses that have been reviewed by the UC system and approved for students who are looking to go to college.
That is correct.
Alrighty, I digress. I'm sorry.
No. Thank you for explaining. Okay, so also there's a couple ways they can do that. They can take one CTE course just to fulfill their graduation requirements,
Mm-hmm.
or they can take 3 CTE courses in a pathway to become a pathway completer. And as you had mentioned before, all the CTE courses are facilitated by a credentialed CTE teacher. So with the CTE pathway, let me explain that a little bit more. The learners must complete a 3-year-long high school course in their designated pathway. So think about that. 3 years
Mm-hmm.
in that designated pathway, they're really coming out on top.
Yeah.
So some of the pathways that we offer: arts, media, and entertainment, business and finance, education, child development and family services, and health science and medical technology. How about that for all of our middle school and high schoolers?
You talk about some robust career fields that that have a lot of openings. We operate here in Southern California, so the arts, media, and entertainment is right up the alley of our community. We've got a lot of kids that are leaders and entrepreneurs. They're learning business. Gosh, you've got a tremendous amount of offerings. That is great.
It is.
Yeah.
And we're really proud to offer all of that.
I bet, and I know you guys have really highly qualified staff members that are leading these courses. I love the way you structure it, where you've got an intro, and then you've got the okay, now build and grow, and then the capstone courses, and that way kids can, because more times than not, right? Kids at 14, 15, 16 years old don't know what they want to do. In their future career. This gives them an
Mhm.
opportunity to explore different options and see if they actually like things, if they have an aptitude for it. That is fantastic. Now, Christy, I mentioned in our
Absolutely.
intro, it's a beautiful spring day out. It looks like summer is just around the corner. In fact, I think it hit 90 degrees here in Santa Clarita yesterday. It's getting hot, and with the weather heating up, folks are starting to look toward the summer. And y'all have a very unique opportunity at iLead Online that starts, I think, July 1st. It starts in the summer. So can you talk about, well, I'm
Hmm.
talking about Track C. Can you talk about Track C and what that offers for families at iLead Online?
Absolutely. So Track C runs from, as you said, July 1st. I believe we're ending August 16th this year.
July 1st to
So
August
it's an
16th. Okay.
accelerated pace. Kids can come and take the classes. They have almost our entire catalog to choose from. We do note on the website as you go through the catalog, if a class is not available during Track C, it will say that. So that way the parents know what is and what's not. Well, parents and kids. And basically, they're going to take a full semester course in just, what, 7, 8 weeks?
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
They can go ahead.
well, I'm guessing this is helpful for any number of situations. You've got kids that may have fallen behind that can get caught up during these
Hmm.
summer months. You've got kids that are looking to accelerate, maybe graduate early, or
Hmm.
I want to get an extra math class in, or what have you. So, kind of what folks would think of as summer school, they can get those summer school classes in, yeah?
Absolutely. And the kiddos that just love to learn, you know, they
Right.
just want to keep going. They want to stay engaged and have something to look forward to.
And so I was talking about credits. You make a good point. Do you offer these Track C courses for younger kids as well that maybe want to avoid the learning loss in the summer and things like that?
Hmm. TK through 12th grade, everyone
TK
is
through
welcome.
12th grade. You've got that summer session for them. Now, I, I I can't help but think there's somebody out there thinking, hey, I love my traditional district school, or we're going to private school and we love that and we're not ready to leave, but I really would like to take take advantage of that summer session. Can they do that? Can they take a course over the summer and then just go back to their regular school in August?
They absolutely can. So there's two ways that they can do this.
Okay.
One, they can do the complete enrollment with us. The whole thing, like as if they're registering for a brand new school.
Right.
They do that, and the benefit to doing that is that the classes are free. There's no charge for them.
Love
Now,
that.
does that mean they're locked in and they have to stay with us through the whole school year? Because you'd mentioned, that I love my school, I want to
Sure.
go back to it. Absolutely not. We make sure that they, we had mentioned the pacing guides.
Mm-hmm.
So we make sure that the coach works with them for their schedule so that way they complete the course. And then we release them back. So we disenroll them, so to speak.
Okay.
We disenroll them and release them back so that way they can attend their regular school by the time they have their first day of school, because we know not all the schedules match up
Sure.
across the board when it comes to everyone's school. So that's one way. The other way is they can pay for the course out of pocket. And the prices are listed on the website next to each one. So the parent knows exactly what they're looking for. And again, they can pay out of pocket.
So why would someone pay if they can get it for free, Christy?
Well, that is because they may not live within the several counties that we service, so then they wouldn't be eligible to enroll
Right.
as a full-time learner with us. Or maybe they're even out of the country.
Yeah, so that is
Yeah.
a very interesting distinction. So, and we actually do have families that do that live out of state or up in Northern
Hmm.
California. And since we're a public school, we can't serve people, all over the world. But we can, if you want to purchase the courses, they're very reasonably priced, and you can get more information on the website, again, iLeadOnline.org. But if you live in one of those 5 counties that your school serves, and let's name them: LA County, Kern County, Ventura County, San Bernardino County, Orange County, then yeah, whether you want to enroll full time, because again, we're a free public school, or if you want to just enroll in that Track C during the summer months and then unenroll and head back to the school you were previously at, again, those summer classes are available to you free of charge as long as you live in those 5 counties. Christy, super exciting. So if people want to enroll in Track C, or they're ready to dive headfirst and say, yeah, let's do this full time, how do people enroll? How do they get more information?
So their first stop would be iLeadOnline.org,
All right.
and they can schedule a virtual tour. Not necessarily schedule, but they can see the open houses / virtual tours that we already have set up. We hold at least 2 every single month.
Yeah.
And it's usually at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That way, parents are getting out of work.
Yeah.
And they can be involved. It is a live Zoom where we share all of the information on how our program works. So that's one option.
Yeah.
Okay, virtual tour / open house. 2, personal tour. They can actually schedule an appointment and meet with Suzanne Ranj, our enrollment specialist, and she will meet one-on-one with you and answer all of your questions and give you all of the information about our program. And then once you're ready, you submit, you click the Enroll Now button on the website and submit in an application. So, of course, that's where we gather all of your initial information about your demographics, and then your learners, how many children would you like to enroll? Once that is submitted, it goes into our enrollment system, and parents will immediately receive a notification as to whether they are offered a spot, if one is open, or if they might be waitlisted. And if you are waitlisted, it's okay. It moves super fast.
Well,
so that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, because of the nature of an online school, we don't have to wait for 40, 50, 60 more kids to be on the wait list to let a new group in. We've just got to make sure that our classes are structured and we've got staff to accommodate folks, and boom, you're in. Christy, you mentioned
Absolutely.
that you have you've got these virtual open houses at least twice a month. Y'all are smart, Christy. I see what you're doing. Springtime, folks are looking for enrollment for next year, and y'all added 4 virtual open houses in the month of May alone. Very smart. So families can again go to iLeadOnline.org and get more information, peruse our course catalog, click on info sessions and sign up for one of those virtual tours or information sessions. Or shoot, if Christy convinced you this morning and you're ready to smash the enrollment button, it's in the upper right-hand corner of their website. Christy, I want to thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. You guys are truly doing innovative, revolutionary stuff with online learning at iLead Online. Christy Monroe, Office Manager for iLead Online, we appreciate you. You have a great weekend.
Thank you so much, Matt. It was my pleasure.
Of course.
And you have a great weekend as well.
Well, thank you. And one more time, iLeadOnline.org for your free public charter school, fully online, but not stuck on the computer, hands-on, project-based learning, completely flexible, TK through 12th grade. Trying to fit all that on a flyer. It really is an amazing school. Check them out at iLeadOnline.org. We're going to take a quick break and we will be back. I am Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, your host, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. We just wrapped up our conversation with Christy Monroe from iLead Online. Listen, if I say online learning and you wince and start having PTSD from the pandemic, and I get it, but do yourself a favor, check it out. Just take a look. No commitment at all. Shoot, you got no down payment, so there's no reason not to fill out an application, an enrollment application. But if your kid needs a little bit more flexibility, or for whatever reason being on campus isn't working for your child, we have families that say that they've dealt with bullying, or gosh, they're in the entertainment industry, they're elite athletes, or they like to spend their days traveling, or whatever the case is. If you think an off-campus experience might work for your kids, trust me. Like Christy said, if you missed it, check us out on the podcast. Our kids are getting personal connections. They're meeting for bowling. They're socializing in their online classes, and they're getting a great project-based learning experience. Our kids are succeeding in college as they go on. Check them out again at iLeadOnline.org. It was a great conversation. Then had a fun, quick conversation with Engineer Jen during the break. We were talking about what we're doing this weekend. And so, what are you doing this weekend? What have you got going on? I got to tell you, one of my favorite resources as we start to slide into the weekend, and KHTS does a great job. They send them out on Thursday night because they know that Friday is when you're gonna, or it's early Thursday morning, I think it is that it hits. They know people are starting to look into the weekend and wondering what to do, and so they've got KHTS has got a feature here of what's going on this weekend, things to do in Santa Clarita over the weekend. And so I'm just kind of perusing that because there's a lot going on. We're always busy here in Santa Clarita, but springtime is the time for events here. I'm looking well, yesterday was the grand opening for a new grocery outlet bargain market. So what, Matt? Grocery store has a grand opening. Well, first of all, this is a special location for me. They opened up on the corner of Bouquet and Seco Canyon Road, where the Rite Aid used to be. Rite Aid shut down a few months back, and that's special to me because I worked at that Rite Aid location for 7 years, all the way through high school and college. In fact, it paid my way through college for me, and it was just a special place for me. Glad to see that something useful is going into that location. We've got the 15th annual wine affair, Viva Las Vegas, coming up this weekend. There's a resume writing lab coming up. The Maine has got a cool event going on called Uncle Rufus 2, Odella's Revenge. So you can check that out again, all at hometownstation.com. And then I want to put a couple of things on your radar that are coming up, of course, and we talked about it at length with station co-owner Carl Goldman a couple weeks ago. The 13th annual KHTS Home and Garden Show is coming up April 27th and 28th up at Central Park. Just an amazing weekend up there. They always put on a phenomenal show, and Carl talked about, the different emergency vehicles that are going to be there, the different demonstrations, the butterfly tent, and the games and things for kids, and the home improvement stuff for moms and dads, and there's all kinds of stuff happening at the KHTS Home and Garden Show. And then we've also got the Santa Clarita Cowboy Festival coming up. That's something that COVID almost killed. We got COVID canceled for a few years, and then after COVID, folks were hemming and hawing about, maybe that's just something in our past. But no, by popular demand, the Cowboy Festival is back April 20th and 21st at William S. Hart Park in Old Town Newhall. I was actually talking to somebody the other day about this event. You will not believe the stuff they've got going on. They're going to have beer tents and axe throwing. Yes, beer and axes, great combination. And I was actually invited to MC the event. So I will be out there both days, MCing on one of the stages. And get out to the Santa Clarita Cowboy Festival. Lots going on this weekend and every weekend in Santa Clarita. Check it out. I am Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, your host, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. And here in the Valley, here in Santa Clarita, we have an amazing community. I joke about the moniker Awesome Town, but it really is an amazing place to live. And you know what? What we love more than anything is giving out awards, honors, recognitions in this town. And, you've got your Man and Woman of the Year, always a premier, and what an honor to be named Man or Woman of the Year. We recognize our 40 under 40, the 50 most influential people in the Valley. We name the ultimate all kinds of things every year. Shout out to the ultimate female restaurant owner this year. COC hands out their Silver Spur Award. There's just so much more. But you know what award we don't give out in this town? We don't give out the award for nicest guy in town, and I know why. Because if we did, My next guest would win it every single year. I'm talking about the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Santa Clarita and all around great guy, Matt Nelson. Matt is a longtime resident of Santa Clarita. He's a graduate of College of the Canyons as well as San Francisco State University, bachelor's degree in liberal studies, as well as a master's degree in public administration and nonprofit management from CSUN. Go Matadors. Matt joined the SCVi Boys and Girls Club in 2003 and steadily worked his way up to the top role at the club. He does an absolute incredible job of balancing his different duties, from schmoozing folks around town to providing leadership among all of the nonprofits across the valley, to inspiring his staff and connecting with his kids, the members who attend the Boys and Girls Club across Santa Clarita. Here he is, folks, CEO of the Boys and Girls Club and official nicest guy in Santa Clarita, Matt Nelson. Matt, thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning, Matt. You're so sweet. Thank you. Those are some high praises. You are very kind.
Absolutely true.
Great to be on.
You know, folks have gotten used to, whether it's the office, the family, my friends asking, who's going to be on your show this week? And I said this week, Matt Nelson. Oh my God, I love Matt. He's the best. Everybody loves Matt Nelson. And it's a good thing too, because working with kids, nobody wants the guy at the top to be, oh yeah, I hate that guy. Anyways.
Yeah, no, that wouldn't be good.
So, Matt, let's start here, because I can't believe it. The Boys and Girls Clubs have been around for so long, but there's got to be somebody out there who's not quite as familiar with the club. So can you tell us a little bit about the services that y'all provide? Let's set the stage for folks, because y'all are a lot more than just after-school care, right?
Yeah, definitely. So Boys and Girls Club of Santa Clarita Valley, we call ourselves the positive place for kids.
Yes.
We help over 5,000 youth reach their full potential by supporting their academic success, providing a second home, and building leaders. We actually have 10 locations throughout the valley.
Wow.
We serve youth 4 all the way through 18 years old, out of school programming. So that's that after school, during school breaks. And membership is just $60 a year.
Get out.
Super low. And additional siblings are $45. So if you have a family of 2 or 3, we will discount there. And that's an annual membership. And then beyond that, we're open Monday through Friday, after school till 7 o'clock at our 3 clubhouse programs, which are open to all youth.
Wow.
And then at our 7 school sites in the Newhall School District, those are open to the youth at those schools. In our programming throughout the valley, we do programming in education, the arts, health and wellness, character leadership development, and workforce readiness. But at the core of it all, it's about fun, getting kids connected with caring adults, and building peer connections with their friends, and just being that positive, fun place for kids to help them grow and become awesome young adults.
Absolutely, and you do a fantastic job of it. I can't tell you how many young adults I've talked to that tell me how they owe their academic success to the tutoring and the support they got at the Boys and Girls Club. You talked about character and leadership that you develop in your kids. There's so many folks around town, entrepreneurs, business leaders, community leaders in town that say that came through the leadership programs at Boys and Girls Club. You guys are doing amazing things, Matt. I mentioned that you joined Boys and Girls Club back in 2003, so a couple of decades. Can you talk to us a little bit about your career and how you came to Boys and Girls Club, how and why maybe, and then your metamorphosis into your current role as CEO?
Yeah. So, my plan was to get into teaching. I knew I loved working with kids. I worked at a summer camp and another after-school program throughout college. And then when I graduated in 2003, as I was getting ready to start my teaching credential program, I started working here at the Boys and Girls Club in the Newhall location as a part-time education coordinator. But within 6 months, a full-time position opened up, and I never did get that teaching credential, but I just fell in love with the impact that we were making, the mission. I've got to work with an amazing team of other youth development professionals. It's just like a big family here. And I fell in love with the program and really saw the impact we were making. I could relate to a lot of the kids. Some of our kids come from single-family homes and, working parents, working late nights. And that was my situation growing up. And I really owe my success to some awesome mentors that I had, a principal who
pulled me out of class one day to help me with my swing for baseball, and
Oh,
just like
nice.
took a special interest. Yeah, just like little things like, wow, an adult who cares about me,
Yeah.
and gave me some pointers. Or a junior high teacher who, back then we had mixtapes for the school dance, and asked me to help with that. And those kinds of things where it makes you feel special. And then when it comes time to, like, what are you going to do after high school? Those are the people that you trust and can give you great advice. And I felt like I could really pay that forward working at the Boys and Girls Club, getting to help thousands of other kids over the years. So I stuck with it. And after working in our learning center for a while, was our branch manager for our Newhall clubhouse for about 11 years. And then just wanted to continue my career and growth, and saw the opportunity to move into administration and learn the business side of things. And then now I've been in the CEO role for 7 years. Time flies by. I can't believe it's been that long.
Wow.
But yeah, and it's really great. It's exciting. It wasn't something I ever, set out to do when I was helping kids with homework. But now in this role, it's fantastic to get to work with the community and the board, community supporters, people like yourself, and who, want to support the kids and see it, make sure everybody has the opportunity and the hopes and to be successful. And it's been very rewarding. And now the club, we've been growing a lot in the last few years and serving more kids, helping more families. So I love what I do. It's a blessing, and I couldn't ask for anything else.
Gosh, you used a lot of words that kept popping up in my head as well, Matt. You are such a blessing for our community, and we're so fortunate to have you. You mentioned the successes that you're having. You and your staff are just known for the amazing connections that you're making with kids, the same connections that some of those adults made with you when you were a young man. So along with the services you provide, can you cite maybe one or two of the recent successes that you've had at the clubs? Something that y'all have been able to accomplish with one or maybe a group of your kids?
Yeah, absolutely. Every year we try to recognize one student, one member who as our Youth of the Year. So this year's Youth of the Year, her name's Melanie. She's a senior in high school. She joined the club way back in 7th grade. And she initially got connected because her mom was looking for a safe place for her after school. 7th grade is not quite old enough. She didn't want her home alone, but not little kids. So the club was a perfect place. She could walk over after school, and she was able to get some homework help. She got involved in our teen leadership program. Now she's the president. She volunteers in the club and the community. She mentors younger members. And next month, I can't believe it, she's graduating high school.
Oh, my gosh.
But she has a plan. She wants to be a veterinarian. And last week, her and our other teams went to visit UCLA and UCSB. So we're really excited for them to, just step onto a college campus, because just stepping onto a college campus while they're in high school greatly improves their post-secondary school success rate. So, that's something we're really focused on, ensuring all our members graduate on time and that they have a plan after high school, whether it be college, trade school, or the military. So Melanie is just a shining example of that. And she's selected as Youth of the Year because she's just so well-spoken too, and she could just tell her story. She's amazing. She's also a great example of how we kept connected with our teams throughout the pandemic. So, she joined before the pandemic, and then throughout we kept connected virtually. And then as they transitioned back to school, we were able to support them and help getting back to socializing in person and feeling like they have a place they belong. And so she can tell that whole story, and here she is. She's going to be amazing. She's going to be leading this club someday.
Well, and as a matter of fact, you know what, Matt, we need to have her on the show here sometime soon to really highlight, her as an individual and everything that she's accomplishing, but then also to kind of illustrate what you're talking about, the great ways that y'all are serving youth. I love that cycle of leadership that you're leading kids to become their best selves and have success in the future, but also teaching them to lead those younger than them and to constantly give back. That is beautiful. Matt, you mentioned that you've been the clubs have been growing quite a bit. When I was growing up out here, I think there was one, maybe two clubs. But where are you guys now? Where in Santa Clarita are you all located?
So we have 10 locations now. So for 30 years, we've had our Newhall Clubhouse, the James T. Ventures Clubhouse in Newhall Park near Hart High in Placerita.
Yep.
And then we have our Sierra Vista Clubhouse, which we're going to talk a little bit more about,
Yep.
in Canyon Country at Sierra Vista Junior High. And then through partnerships with the county and Castaic Unified School District, we've opened a site at Castaic Middle School.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have, as I mentioned a little earlier, we have 7 sites at Newhall School District elementary schools around Newhall and up in Stevenson Ranch area. So, 10 locations throughout. We even have a lunch recess program at McGrath Elementary where we're helping kids just leading games and activities during lunchtime, helping with that socialization. So really 11 programs in all. And we hope just to continue to grow and reach more kids. So about 3 years ago, we were serving about 300 kids a day. Now we're serving 600 kids a day after school. So we've really grown tremendously. It's great.
You've doubled your enrollment in 3 years. That is incredible, Matt. And like I said, you guys have a proven model for support, care, and leadership of our students in and across Santa Clarita Valley. You mentioned your Sierra Vista Clubhouse. I know you've got a very special ceremony coming up at that location. Can you tell us a little bit about it? What's going on at Sierra Vista, Matt?
Yeah, so Sierra Vista, we opened it in 2003, and now in honor of our longtime board member Tom Dirkman, we're actually renaming it the Thomas E. Dirkman Clubhouse. So we're going to be doing that officially. The ceremony is May 9th at 5:30 at our clubhouse is located there at the Sierra Vista Junior High. So it's 19425 Stillmore Street. The community's invited to join us. It's going to be really, really nice event. Tom is an incredible leader in the community. He's a Boys and Girls Club alumni. He actually attended the Boys and Girls Club of Shelbyville, Indiana. So, yeah, and he's still connected with his roots there, and the club supports them, and has been a tremendous leader in the community. He came to Santa Clarita back in 1982 with the Newhall Land and Farming Company, and he was a key leader in really building this community. He was responsible for projects like the mall and the Hyatt Hotel, and the Industrial Center, Commerce Center, and many more. He was a 2012 SCVi Man of the Year. He mentioned the Man of the Year earlier. He was one of the Men of the Year, and he served in the U.S. Navy. So has a great, rich history. And in the 90s, he got connected with our Boys and Girls Club board. The Newhall Land and Farming Company has always been a key partner in the club ever since we opened in 1968. So we've always had representatives from them, from their company on our board. And so Tom got involved, served in many roles. He was vice president, and continues to serve on our finance committee. And under his leadership, he was really key in getting the Sierra Vista Clubhouse built. So we had a couple bungalows there on the school campus, a small, successful but small program there. And we were outgrowing it. A lot of kids were attending, and Tom and other community leaders in the school district got together and they said, let's build a full service facility. We had already had for about 10 years the club here in Newhall, and then we wanted to build something like that in Canyon Country, which was really growing and saw a big need there. So we have a beautiful full service facility, has a shared space with the school. There's a gymnasium and 3 classrooms that the school uses during the day, and then we use in the afternoon. In addition, we have a games room and a teen center, a small kitchen, our offices there. And we're serving anywhere from 150 to 250 kids there a day.
Wow.
There's been over 10,000 kids and their families have benefited from the programs and services there in the last 20 years. And Tom was instrumental in getting that built. So it's an honor for us to honor him and his family and rename it the Thomas E. Dirkman Clubhouse. He's a Boys and Girls Club alumni, board member, key team member and getting it built, and just cares so much about the kids in the community and knows personally the impact it makes.
Yeah, definitely. Tom is a great guy, and anybody who is familiar with the growth of our community here in Santa Clarita knows how instrumental Tom has been in growing our community to what it is today, as well as the Boys and Girls Club. And so, what an amazing honor! And I love that he'll get to see this type of honor. Right? This is something that typically doesn't happen until after somebody's passed. We do these kind of things posthumously, which is such a shame that happens. But no, Tom's going to get to see a clubhouse named for him because he's been so instrumental in the community, especially the Boys and Girls Club community. Matt, you talked about all the tremendous services that you're providing. Well, before I move on to that, Matt, one more time, you're renaming the Sierra Vista Clubhouse the Thomas E. Dirkman Boys and Girls Clubhouse, and you're holding that ceremony. You said community is invited. When again is that happening?
That's Thursday, May 9th at 5:30.
All right, cool. And do folks need to RSVP, or can they just show up?
They could show up, but an RSVP wouldn't hurt. So you could call 661-254-CLUB, 661-254-2582, and RSVP that way.
254 Club. That's really easy to remember. So that is fantastic.
Yeah.
Matt, you talked about all of the amazing services that you're providing for boys and for girls here in Santa Clarita, and you do it for next to nothing. $60 a year for membership. And then you mentioned, Matt, you're giving a discount to siblings. Somebody heard that it's only $45 to add a sibling, and so they added a sibling to the studio this morning. Big T's in the house. He just rolled in. So those familiar with the show.
Hey.
Good morning, Matt. How are you?
Hey, great. How are you doing?
Good. It's so great to talk to you. Thank you so much for the work that you do at the club. It was an honor of mine to serve on the board for several years. Doing a great job. Picked up right where Jim left off, and just so proud of you. And thanks for your dedication to the kids of the community.
Oh, thank you, Tony. Thanks for all your support.
Absolutely. We're very blessed to have Matt Nelson as the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Santa Clarita. He's going to stick with us after the break. When we get back, find out about the programming that Matt and his team have brewing for you and your kids this summer, about how you can attend their signature event. And it's one of the most highly anticipated events in our community each year, and how you can support the amazing things going on at the club. Stick around. I'm Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and I am joined this morning by Matt Nelson. He is the CEO of the Boys and Girls Club of Santa Clarita. We talked last break about the clubhouse in Canyon Country being renamed for Thomas E. Dirkman. We talked about the amazing services that the clubs provide across the valley every single day for our kids. Matt, let's talk about this, because you've got one of my favorite events. It's been one of my favorite events for a long, long time. I'm talking about your milestone event coming up, the annual dinner and auction. Matt, can you give us a little bit of a history of the Boys and Girls Club auction?
Yeah, so the auction, it is the biggest, best party in town. You don't want to miss it. It is our 52nd annual auction, believe it or not. It is a key fundraiser for the club, and it is so much fun. It's literally an auction. We have a live auction. We have a silent auction, and a great dinner, entertainment, and great socializing, networking opportunity to get together with a lot of other caring people who want to help the kids in the community. It's going to be Saturday, June 1st at the Hyatt in Valencia. Starts at 6 p.m. And we have tickets and sponsorships still available. So if people are interested, you can go online and purchase that at scvbgc.org. And they come on out and attend. Our chairs, Pamela and Dennis Werner, have put together a great theme this year. It's Tiki Hideaway.
Yeah.
So, that fun, tiki, casual theme. We're going to, people are going to be in their tiki Hawaiian shirts and sandals and shorts. And we have a band coming, a tiki band. So some special drinks and meals in that theme. It's going to be a lot of fun. We've had a lot of different themes over the years that make it fun, and this one we're really looking forward to.
That is fantastic. You guys are known for the themes for your dinner and auction, and I know Pam and Dennis really get into it. In fact, Pam was on, I think, the last time you were on the show with me, and I had lunch with Pam and Dennis not too long ago, and I was bugging them trying to get the theme, and they said, no, not going to tell you, but you're going to love it. And,
Yep, they keep it tight.
I always love dressing up for a themed event like that. I love it even more when I can dress down for a theme like that. So yeah, roll in your cargo shorts and your Tommy Bahama and get your tiki on. That is going to be fantastic. So let's talk about it. You mentioned there's a live and silent auction. It's going to be tiki themed. So you mentioned the date, the time, the location, how folks get tickets. Again, it's just on your website. So tell us what we're in store for from the time we walk in until the time we walk out. What kind of goes on during the auction?
Yeah, so for the first hour and a half or so, it's kind of our cocktail hour. We have hors d'oeuvres. You can peruse the silent auction items. They'll all be on display in person there, and see what we have. We're going to have everything from in the silent auction, everything from gift baskets of various items, restaurant gift certificates, things like services, spa, salon, and beauty services, furniture, games, things for kids like dance lessons and martial arts, nice. Pet products, and a lot of like fun stuff that you want, like wine bottles and baskets, but then also practical stuff that people donate. So it's a great time. You could see all that. We're fancy now, so we actually open up the auction a few days in advance, and it goes a couple extra days that way, so people can actually bid virtually. So you can get involved before the event, after the event, and even if you're not able to attend, we've had people who have been out of town, out of state, and still want to participate and are able to bid remotely and get in on the fun. So you could do that. And then we go to our dinner and live auction. So that starts about 7:30, and we go into the ballroom there. We have an amazing auctioneer. You could talk like a million words per minute, and just like so much fun, so much energy. Yeah. The tables and the decorations are all that tiki theme, and the music, and then we do our live auction. We have about 25 to 30 live auction items, and these are higher value, like trips to Cabo or Hawaii, or VIP dining experiences, hotel stays, other and unique things you have to see to believe in, things you wouldn't get anywhere else that get donated by the amazing supporters in business here in Santa Clarita. So, and then really great highlight, like I said earlier, like during that cocktail hour, we're going to have a tiki band. So, really fun music and setting that vibe. And it's a real party. It's great. And all the proceeds support the club. That's how we keep our prices so low. That's how it's only $60 a year for the kids. That way, any kid, we never turn anyone away. Anyone who needs the club, they need a safe place. It's this way the kids aren't out on the streets. They aren't home alone. They have a positive place to go. But the auction is key to that success. And so we need to raise a lot of money, and we're counting on our community, which always comes through in a big way, supporting the kids in our community.
And like you said, it really is an amazing evening every year. So much fun, and then so rewarding because you see how much is going back to the kids. Matt, I first got connected with the auction. Gosh, Tony was there with me. It was probably 35 years ago. Mom was on the board at the Boys and Girls Club, and so we volunteered. I think we worked credit card machines that night. Yep. But I
remember because some guy's wife bought a goat.
Some guy's wife bought a goat. Yeah, you guys, you mentioned some of the unique items that you have in the live auction. That year, you had pygmy goats. There were 2 pygmy goats up for live auction, and you also had celebrity auctioneers. Those of you that are old school like Tony and I, Mark and Brian were big, huge radio personalities in town back in the 80s, and they came to the event, and they auctioned off a pygmy goat. and some guy's wife bought a pygmy goat. She paid like $3,500 for
Yeah,
it.
he was upset because he said he didn't want to have to take the goat home in his Mercedes.
Yeah, he was trying to shove this, and the club staff was like, "You bought the goat, man. You got to get it out of here. We're not taking it back to the club."
Right along the side.
Oh, it was so much. And gosh, I don't know if you have any livestock up for auction this year, Matt, but it's always lots of fun. And like you said, great prizes. Now, Matt, I mentioned something as we went into commercial last time that I know probably perked up the ears of a lot of parents and caregivers. Summer's coming up, and families are starting to look forward to the summer. They're planning vacations, and they're also stressing about their kids being on vacation all summer. I know you've got some great summer programming in the works. Can you talk to our families about that?
Yeah, so summer's kicking off in June. So as soon as schools are out, the club is open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And we do all kinds of fun stuff. So we have breakfast, lunch, and snack for the kids. It's all free. It's all included.
Wow.
And then we're going to have field trips every week. We go to all local places. We go out of town, go to the beach, go to the movies, a lot of fun stuff. And we have sports and recreation going on, arts and crafts, take kids to the pool. There's so much going on. It's a lot of fun. And we I'm going to say the kids are in school, so they won't hear. We trick the kids into learning. So we keep them learning, keep them doing things. They do science projects and reading club, which the teachers love because when they get back to school in the fall, they haven't suffered a lot of that learning loss which kids go through in the summer when they just turn their brains off. We keep them engaged and it keeps them having fun. They make new friends. It's great. The lifetime memories that kids, create here at the club.
Yeah.
It's open to all kids too. So we get kids who are visiting grandparents or mom or dad during the summer, and they're from out of town. They come in, you just fill out the registration form, pay that fee, and come on into the club. No questions asked. So it's great. We're going to have our full day programs at Canyon Country Clubhouse, the Thomas E. Dirkman Clubhouse we've been talking about. That'll be open Monday through Friday, 7 to 7. And then the Newhall Clubhouse is our James T. Ventures Clubhouse as well, 7 to 7, Monday through Friday. And then our Castaic program. It'll be our second summer of running our Castaic Clubhouse, and that will be open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. at Castaic Middle School.
That is fantastic. Yeah, because I know it can be a little bit of a stressor for parents about what are we going to do with the kids for the summer. And then, after 3-4 weeks, kids start to get bored, but not at the clubs. Like you said, you got great programming, and you only charge $60 for membership. It's $105 if there's 2 kids in the family, right? Because there's that discount for extra siblings. Matt, you mentioned you never turn anybody away, so even if that $60 is a burden, it's not a problem, is it?
No, we have scholarships. So if somebody is in a situation and they need a little extra help, we have that available as well. Yeah.
And you said, for that reason, because you want to make sure that every kid has access to the great services, support, and care, you depend heavily on the dinner and auction type benefits and also donations. So if people are looking to support the great work that the clubs are doing, hitch your wagon to something that's already a proven success of leadership. How can people support, volunteer, donate? What can people do?
Yeah. So for the auction in particular, come out. We still have tickets on sale. You can come out to that, or if you're not able to attend, but you have an item you could donate. We're still collecting items for our auction, for the silent auction and the live. Or if you want to volunteer, in a couple of weeks, we'll have the volunteer registration link available online. But in the meantime, give us a call at 254-CLUB, and we could make sure you're on the list, and you can get involved there. But we're open year-round. We're operating year-round, so if the auction isn't, you don't connect there, we, become a monthly donor, support the kids, $10 a month or, whatever it is, a couple coffees, spare yourself a couple coffees a month and support the local kids as we need the community support. That's how we've been so successful. And, helping kids like Melanie, who we were talking about earlier. Yeah. It takes a community to raise kids, and that's what the Boys and Girls Club is all about. And that's what Santa Clarita Valley is all about.
Fantastic. And so if families are interested in getting their kids connected, whether it's just for the summer or all year round, is it just as simple as going to the website? How do they do that?
Yeah, exactly. That same website, scvbgc.org. Just click the membership button, fill it out online. We'll give you a call, pay that fee. And you know what, too, man, I want to say, too, is like,
Please.
sometimes people are, I just need the club once a week. It's not a commitment. They don't have to be here all week, or maybe it's just 1 week out of the summer you need that. We're open drop-in facility, so you could sign up for whatever you need. We're flexible and try to eliminate all barriers. So just give us a call or sign up online.
You're supporting kids with care, academic support, leadership, and you're there for what kids and families need, whatever that may be. I love that.
Yep.
And Matt, I've got producer Sarah bugging me. She says if you've got a digital flyer, we need a digital flyer so that we can promote the summer services at our schools, SCVi, iLead Agua Dulce, iLeadOnline, iLead Exploration. We serve 4 different schools serving families here in Santa Clarita, so we'd love to promote your programs in our Monday Message, which is our weekly newsletter.
You've got it. We'll send that out this afternoon. Get that over to you. Absolutely.
Fantastic.
And people can always follow us on social media, too. Just want to point that out. We're on Instagram and Facebook.
There you go. Terrific. Matt, God bless you. You and your staff are doing amazing things for our young folks in and around town. We appreciate you so much. Thanks for joining me. You really are Santa Clarita Valley's nicest guy. We'll see you soon.
See you later,
Thanks, Matt. Have a great day.
You too. And coming up next, we're going to goof off. My big brother just rolled in studio. It's Frogger and Big T in studio this morning. Yeah, I know, but Mom makes me. So if I have to put up with it, you have to put up with it. It's going to be an absolute train wreck, but like any good train wreck, you're not going to want to look away. Stay tuned. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I'm Matt Watson. He's Big T. This is your hometown station on KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. And if you're familiar with the show, you know that normally we wear headphones during this segment because Big T calls in and he's got trivia. But Big T is in the studio. How you doing, big man?
I'm doing well. He's back.
He's back.
I had to come for Jen's birthday.
Yeah, well, you had to. Yeah, came all the way down from Central Washington to celebrate Engineer Jen's birthday. We got Engineer Andrew in the studio.
Good morning. I'm here.
How you doing, brother?
All right.
Alrighty, enough of you because now it's time for Big T's 5 minutes of fame. Y'all know Big T. He's a longtime resident and, used to be resident of Santa Clarita, but He is an executive, he's a philanthropist, he's an amazing father, husband, community leader. He is back in town looking better than ever, which ain't saying much, I gotta say. Here he is, everybody. His mom's favorite. Big T, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Maddie. How you doing?
I'm doing great. So you've got trivia. We've got Engineer Andrew, Engineer Jen. We've got our hands on the buzzers. So for those of you that haven't played before, we've got to hit our buzzers when we know the answer to Tony's trivia question. That's just calling out your name, Andrew. Quit looking around. But those of you at home, you've got the drop on us. You don't have to shout out your name. Just shout out the answer. See if you can beat us. But, Jen, Andrew, and I, we're pretty smart. You're not going to do it. Trust me. We're gonna take this one. Well, maybe. I don't know. Let's see how you do. Big T, what do you got for us?
Fantastic. Little fun fact to just kind of kick things off. I know we're fresh in the baseball season. A player, if you remember the old Cardinal player, Matt Holliday.
I do.
His son was just called up to the big leagues this week.
Yeah.
He is the youngest player in Major League Baseball right now. He's 18 years old.
18 and he got called up to the bigs already.
18 and called up to the big leagues.
Nice.
His name is Jackson Holliday. Okay? The 3 youngest players in the big leagues now are Jackson Holliday, Jackson Merrill, and Jackson Cheerio. So I'm not sure what happened in 2004, 2005 for young baseball players and where they got their names from, but
I do know.
No.
Engineer Andrew, isn't that the time that Phil Jackson was tearing it up coaching the Lakers?
Yeah, okay.
That is
there
true.
It is.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah.
Cool.
I can see that.
Well, let's have some fun and let's get kicked off with a little bit of trivia.
Let's do it.
All righty, question number 1. What's the name of the city where Batman lives?
Frogger.
Andrew.
I think I got Frogger first.
All right, it's Gotham.
Gotham is correct.
Yeah.
Which boy band was formed on the UK show The X Factor in 2010?
Andrew.
Andrew.
One Direction.
One Direction is right. Good pull.
Wow.
Got it.
As they say, that would not have been on my bingo card.
Hey, he's a directioner.
Wow.
What 2017 animated movie revolves around The Day of the Dead celebration.
Frogger.
Jen.
Frogger.
It is what my boy's dog's named after, Coco.
Coco's correct. If you didn't get that right, you'd been in trouble with bars.
Mi chancho.
What is the process called when a caterpillar turns into a butterfly? Andrew.
Is it metamorphosis?
Metamorphosis is correct. Nice pull.
I thought it was butterflyification.
What's the center of an atom called?
Frogger.
Frogger.
The nucleus.
Nucleus is correct. The rap group Nucleus had a hit song in 1984.
Frogger.
What song? Frogger.
Jam on it. Yeah, we know. Jen, can you play us out with Nucleus's jam on it at the end of the show?
No, I sure can't.
Might be singing on with the jam on it.
We'll have Andrew sing it.
Wiki.
All right, Frogger's been talking enough. Time to switch to math questions.
Oh, boy.
Oh, geez.
What's 5 plus 7 plus 10 plus 6 minus 2?
Andrew.
Andrew.
26?
26 is correct. Look at that. Whiz right along. How many minutes are in 6 hours?
Andrew.
Andrew.
360?
360 is correct.
Wow.
Thanks for being quiet.
I was told there would be no math.
What's the closest planet to the sun?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Mercury.
Mercury's correct. What kind of creature is Sebastian in The Little Mermaid?
Frogger.
Jen.
Frogger.
He's a crab.
He's a crab.
Your microphone is working.
It is working. I know cartoons, not math.
Can you sing us one of his songs, man?
Under the sea.
That's just a bonus for all the folks out there.
Right.
Which Disney princess has a pet tiger?
Andrew.
Jen.
Andrew.
Jasmine.
Jasmine is correct. What's the name of Mickey Mouse's dog?
Jen.
Jen?
Pluto.
You almost went goofy, didn't you? You almost went goofy.
I had to stop and think, wait, one of them's got a hat and pants. The other one doesn't.
Donald Duck does not have pants.
Donald Duck does not have fans.
No
awful.
pants. Yeah.
We had a
Freewheeling.
guest on the show recently that
Did not have pants?
No, we.
Sorry.
It's
radio.
This counter is it's just waist up. No, but we had asked who their favorite Disney character was, and she said, "Well, Winnie the Pooh's my favorite character, but that's not Disney, so I'll go with Donald Duck." And I was like, "Okay,
geez.
you just like pantsless characters."
Pantsless
I like
characters.
it.
You know, Mickey and Minnie broke up. But-
They did break up. Why?
yeah, I don't remember.
Okay.
Who is Bambi's best friend?
Frogger,
Frogger.
Thumper.
Thumper.
We just keep rolling here on Eye on the Valley, friends.
Yeah, that one was not a question. The previous one. Who's the main character in Jungle Book?
Jen.
Jen.
Mowgli.
Mowgli.
There we go.
Mowgli,
Nice
good
pull.
I know my cartoons.
Staying with the animated features.
Jungle Book. Who wrote it?
Yeah.
That person.
It's
I
Rudyard
don't
Kipling,
know.
wasn't it?
Ooh, I bet
I
you're
don't know.
right.
Just coming up with these.
In Disney's Aladdin, who was the voice of Aladdin?
Jen.
Jen.
Andrew. Oh,
Jen, then Andrew.
The voice of Aladdin.
I can tell you from what other character he played.
Well, I know. Well, wait a minute. Aladdin was the kid,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Not
Aladdin
the
was
genie.
No. Genie was the genie.
Genie is the
I'm
genie.
calling foul on the
Foul
question.
on the question. We'll still give it to Jen.
His name is
Who
like
was the
Josh
voice
or something
of
like
Genie?
that. Well, Robin Williams.
Robin Williams,
There
correct.
we go.
Okay. What's the name of the dinosaur?
Hang on, producer Sarah, can you look up
Yeah.
who the voice of
It was-
Aladdin was?
It was the guy that played
Yes.
DJ's boyfriend
He was in a
on-
TV show. Yes.
on,
Full
Full
House.
House.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You are correct.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah. I think I had a crush on him when I was about 12.
I think
yeah.
I had a crush on him. Wait, Aladdin or the guy that voiced
Well,
him?
you know, yeah.
Because, he's running around
The
Aquaba
tiger.
without his shirt
Yeah,
on. And
yeah.
The tiger.
Alrighty. What's the name of the dinosaur in Toy Story?
Jen.
Jen?
Oh.
Rex.
Rex is correct.
Jen's staging a quiet comeback here.
Who was the first Latin baseball player to be named World Series MVP?
Frogger.
Frogger.
It's got to be Roberto Clemente.
Roberto Clemente.
Bam! He's the man.
Fun fact, and not very fun, but back in the late 60s when he came up, the Pittsburgh fans wanted to call him Bobby. Make him sound a little bit more palatable instead of Roberto.
Yeah, right. Nobody's Roberto.
Not
By
so
the way, it was Scott, and I don't know about the pronunciation. Scott Winger?
Winger.
Winger?
I
Okay.
think it's Winger.
Weinger. Thank
Yeah.
you, producer Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. All right, math question.
Oh, no.
What's 33 plus 21 plus 5?
Frogger.
Frogger.
59?
59 is correct. Woo! He's on fire. What's the perimeter of a rectangle that has a length of 10 feet and a width of 5 feet?
Andrew.
Andrew.
50?
Incorrect.
No.
the perimeter.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Frogger.
Andrew.
Frogger.
30.
30 is correct.
Thank you for the clarification.
What John Lennon song was climbing up the charts when he was shot and killed?
Jen,
Jen?
Imagine. I know that's
Good
wrong.
guess. Incorrect, Frogger.
Was it Strawberry Fields?
Incorrect.
Nope. I was gonna say
Ironically,
Imagine.
just like starting over.
Ooh.
Left turn, Clyde.
It'll be just like starting over.
What Roman building is on the flip side of the 5-cent euro coin?
Jen,
Jen?
the Parthenon.
Incorrect.
Frogger?
Frogger.
The Coliseum.
Colosseum's correct. On which Hawaiian island would you find Diamond Head?
Frogger.
Frogger.
The Big Island.
Incorrect.
Andrew.
Andrew.
Waikiki.
That's not.
I
That's a
didn't- no,
beach,
there
but
you
it's you got the right island. but
Oh.
I don't know.
Oh, my
Give an
islands.
island. Any island.
I don't know.
Maui.
Oahu.
Oh, wow.
Bless you.
I'll take a half a point.
What number multiplied by 7 equals 84?
Frogger.
Frogger.
12.
12 is correct. He's
Look
been
at him with
studying
the
those
math.
math questions.
Flashcards, folks.
thinking
Flashcards.
island.
What U.S. sports team holds the most retired numbers?
Andrew?
Andrew.
Would it be the Celtics?
Celtics is correct. That's a good pull, Andrew.
Really?
Yep.
More than a baseball team. More than the Dodgers or the Yankees. Wow.
The Academy Award-winning song "I've Had the Time of My Life" is from what movie?
Jen, Dirty Dancing.
Dirty Dancing. Nobody puts baby in a corner. What's the diamond card in the game of Pinochle? Pinochle. Pinochle. Pinochle, I said.
The diamond card.
Yep.
Frogger.
Frogger.
Trump.
It's the Jack of Diamonds.
Okay.
Yeah.
What music icon?
Didn't understand the question.
What music icon developed electric blues?
Oh.
Oh,
Jen.
Jen.
I don't know his name. I'm going to
Andrew?
whiff. Jeff.
It's not Jeff.
Andrew?
Andrew.
BB King.
That's a good guess. It's not BB King. It's
I was-
before BB King.
I was going to go BB King, so I'm going to go Bo Diddley.
It's the legendary Muddy Waters.
Oh. I just like saying Bo Diddley.
What type of seed could give you a false positive on a drug test?
Andrew.
Oh.
Poppy seed.
It's a good excuse.
Not
Go
from-
with
There
it.
we go. There we go.
With
No,
it.
just-
It's my muffin that I had for breakfast. I swear it.
What breed of dog was the very first seeing eye dog in the United States?
Frogger.
Frogger.
German Shepherd.
German Shepherd's correct. What NBA legend helped found the International Volleyball Association?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Kart
Any other
Kurai.
guesses?
Michael Jordan.
We'll zip by. Wilt Chamberlain.
Oh, well, the
Okay.
still.
Let's go back to some animated stuff. What's the name of the sea turtle in Finding Nemo?
Andrew. Crush.
Crush. He was so cool.
Dude.
What's the heaviest organ in the human body?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Well, for me, it's my liver.
It is the liver.
Yeah!
What bird's eye is bigger than its brain?
Frogger.
All of them.
It's got to be the ostrich.
It is the
It
ostrich.
has got to be the ostrich. Those are dumb birds.
What's the largest land animal?
Frogger.
Frogger.
No, that's my answer. Frogger. Land animal, elephant.
It's the African elephant. That's correct.
Alrighty, Big T, we got to wrap up on that one, but I want to thank you for coming by, especially thank you for coming in the studio. It's great to see you. We want to thank our guests from iLeadOnline. We had Christy Monroe. We had CEO of Boys and Girls Club of Santa Clarita, the official nicest guy in Santa Clarita, Matt Nelson, producer Sarah, engineer Jen, engineer Andrew, Big T. Thank you for listening. Remember, friends, life is hard, but we're all here to help each other along. Be well, do good, have a great weekend, and join us again next week and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.